Most business owners don't take money out of their business and they don't invest. And I think it's a really bad idea. If you feel like you don't have any money, I want to encourage you to start investing now anyway. So let's talk about it. Here's my advice. You're saying, I'm putting all my money into my business. I'm growing my business. That's where I'm going to create my wealth. That's where I'm going to create a big income. 100% agree. Completely agree with that philosophy. But you never know what's going to happen. Most businesses aren't sellable. Something could happen to your business. Something could happen to you. I believe you need to start investing alongside the building of the business. You just don't maybe do a ton of it for a while. So I want you to get in the game. So if you're one that's never invested previously, I'd encourage you to at least start investing $50 a month. You're like, why would I do $50 a month? It's a waste of time. It's like, whatever that is. That's $600 a year. It's nothing. Like, why bother? Well, the reason is because as soon as you start doing that, your brain sees the world in a different way. It sees you as an investor. You start paying more attention. You hear conversations around investing. You see articles around investing. Suddenly, your subconscious becomes aware of this stuff. It grows your knowledge base. It's better to start now than start in 5 to 10 years. I, again, agree. The greatest wealth creation event in your life will most likely be your business, but I encourage you to do both. You just might be doing a teeny tiny amount of actual investing. So get in the game. $50. Almost everybody can do $50 a month. Just be in the game. So how would you do that? The number one thing you would do with money that you're certain you're not going to need. So you've got to a place of like, okay, I can take some amount of money from, call it $600 a year to $7,000 a year. I will never need it. I will be okay if I don't have this money. You put that money into a Roth IRA. It's a tax deferred. Basically, the money goes in, it's taxed before it goes into your bank account, but then it grows completely tax-free. And when you take out in retirement, it's completely tax-free. It's the greatest deal going from a tax standpoint, because taxes are frankly probably only going to get worse in this country because somehow we got to pay for all this stuff we've been buying and all this stuff we want to keep buying. And taxes are probably going to suck someday, even more than they do now. So it'd be nice to have some of your money in a tax deferred account. That's the beauty of a Roth IRA. So that's retirement. You do not want to accidentally have to pull that stuff back out because there's a penalty and taxes. It's a mess. So first place, you should start socking away money. If it's money you are certain you'll never touch it again, Roth IRA. If you're later stage business, you're making a lot of money now, but you haven't invested historically, you might not be able to do a Roth IRA because of your income level, then do an IRA. It's still worth it. Okay. That's sort of retirement stuff, assuming you don't have a 401k or anything like that at your business. Okay. Now, what are you going to do with the money that is taxable that you're saving? I think it's two very simple things. One, you buy, I would personally just tell you go to Vanguard. I'm a big fan of Vanguard. Probably shouldn't be giving any financial advice, but they have very low fees. They're very easy to use. I would recommend Vanguard. I've been using them since I was 20 years old. And I'm way past 20 at this point. Very happy with them. I would tell you to put your emergency money, the money that you might need in less than 5 years, that like money that you're trying to save it, but it's money you might need someday. Maybe you buy a house, maybe the business gets in a little trouble, you need to pull some money back out of the savings account and put it into the business. Maybe somebody gets sick, there's some insurance bills, it's that kind of stuff. That savings, I just put it at the moment. I'd put that into something like Vanguard's Federal Money Market Fund. They used to have a Prime Money Market Fund. I don't know if they still have it. I used that one forever. Federal's super safe. A lot of treasury bills. Won't get in the weeds on what that is. It's like the safest way to invest. And so just put in Federal Money Market Fund. Rates are high enough right now. Probably 4 to 5% is what it's paying. Great place to park money. And money that you could get at any moment if you need it. Next level up from that, I would recommend you invest in the Vanguard S&P 500. I think the fund is called VOO, or they got a lot of them, but I believe that's their ETF. If you just search VOO Vanguard, it'll come up S&P 500. That's the place you put money, in my opinion, that you're not going to need for at least 5 years. because you never know what the market's going to do. You could start investing now, you're $50 a month or more, and market could drop. There's a lot of volatility in the stock market. It could drop 10%, 20%, 30%. That would feel like crap if you have to pull the money out when it's way down, and it will drop over the next 5 years. For sure, it will drop. It might drop tomorrow. It's going to happen. But on the whole, it keeps growing. And I wouldn't be as scared of the stock market as most of the media will lead you to believe. If you've stayed out of the stock market your entire life, your parents stayed out of the stock market, they were all wrong. And so there is volatility. And so it's going to feel kind of scary at times. That's why you put money in there that you don't need for 5 years, because you don't want to have to sell any of your stocks if they happen to be down at the moment you need the money. So Federal Money Market Fund Vanguard, VOO, S&P 500 for money that you won't need for 5 years. Alternative to those two things, you could put money into Wealthfront. They'll sort of create those two things together for you. By two things, I mean very liquid, very safe. That's the money market fund. And then longer term investment, which is the stock investing in an index of the 500 biggest companies. They'll do some other stuff, but Wealthfront's a great way to go as well. I'd either do Wealthfront. I'm sure there's others. There's like Betterment, but I just haven't used them. But I'd say Wealthfront or Vanguard. That's your ticket. Don't keep any of your money in checking. Like, just keep enough money to live in your checking account. Don't keep tons of money in your business account. Like, move it over to a money market fund at Vanguard, like I just described, that you'll get 4 to 5% on. And when you need money, like, transfer it back over. I mean, don't do it where you're constantly transferring back and forth. But like, when you build up cash and you're not going to need it, move it out. Take it out of your business. Take a distribution. Don't go spend it. Don't buy a Ferrari. Don't buy a lake house. Put it in your money market account. And then if 3 months from now, it's like, crap, we're running a little light, or it's winter, we're running a little light, and you pull 20 grand, pull it back over. Record that in your balance sheet, and then move it back when you need to. Don't keep it in your checking account. And so that's about all you need to do from an investing standpoint, because if you were thinking the best way to get wealthy is to build a business, you're spot on. So I would encourage you to do super passive investing like I've just described, and spend all your brain power on growing the business. All your brain power on learning how to build a company, to hire people, to be a better leader, to manage those people, to coach up people, to do marketing, to get better at selling, to get better at onboarding your clients into your company, to get better at retaining your clients, get better at looking at the data and the numbers of your business. Like, spend all your brain power on that, because that's what's going to make you rich. You're not gonna become worth $20 million or more, or 10 or whatever, by most likely, some will, by just investing your way there, by buying stocks and whatever, real estate and stuff. Like, yes, you can. Very few people do. You're going to create the mass majority of people in the United States that have 5 million or more in net worth created through a business. And if they didn't do it that way, then they create it through real estate. But real estate's a business. Are you in the real estate business, or are you in the game of building companies business? Which one's your business? The idea that you're going to become worth crazy amounts of money building a business and like dabbling in real estate? No. Real estate will just be a distraction. Doesn't mean you can't make nice money. I'm not saying you can't or you shouldn't. I'm just saying, like, I would just be all in on one or the other. When I started, I wanted to be in the real estate game. I got busy in the business game, and I pretty quickly figured out, I was like, I can make a ton of money over here, just like I can make over there, and I don't have to carry bazillions of dollars in debt. That is a risk. And so I just went all in on the business thing, even though I originally thought I was going to do the real estate thing. So I'm not saying don't buy a couple homes, single family homes, and rent them out or anything like that, but probably don't. Just go massive with your business. Put all your time, brain power, money, everything into the business and build it. And then someday when you have people run that, go build another one, and then build another one. And next thing you know, you'll wake up and you're like really, really wealthy. And all the while you are socking away some money over in the S&P 500 and into bonds and into money market funds and into maybe other instruments at some point. But you'll never get there until you first get in the game. And that's why I said, just start doing $50 a month, and then you're in the game. Then your brain's like, I'm an investor, and you start paying attention to stuff. But keep your investing super, super simple, where it's low risk, low brain power, low effort. Go all in on business. That's my advice. It's really, really, really simple, actually.